The reason you overthink is because you don't trust your first thought. You will pick up on a situation or in an environment or a person or an energy, and you will question it and tear it down time and time again instead of going with your gut, going with the Holy Spirit, going with your first instinct. And even if you're not sure of your first instinct, you'll avoid the conflict that you have with the person that you felt the thing about or that said a thing that you didn't like before you will bring it to them. Therefore, you will go home and dissect it. Am I tripping? You will have conversations with your family, your friends, your therapist, your pastor, even God about it, before you will go to the source of who caused that thought process in your mind and say, hey, what was that? So you're not necessarily overthinking. You're just trying to think for everybody. Instead of facing the situation head on and saying, hey, what was this and what was that? You go home and you deal with that by yourself, and it's pretty much torment. Or you'll say you're overthinking when you already have the answer to your question, but you'll try to make it a different answer. Therefore, you have to analyze it and pick it apart. And maybe it was really this. Maybe he really meant that. Maybe they really... If you would start trusting in your first thought, you would stop overthinking. If you would stop thinking for everybody else, you would stop overthinking. Trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, it eliminates the inside chatter about all these other situations. Because the crazy part is you can't control any other situation. All that you have control over is you. And sometimes you overthink because you wonder, am I good enough to be in this room? What are these people thinking about me? How was I acting when I did this? How did they react when I said what I said? Once you get comfortable being in your skin, being in your body, being who you are, flourishing in all that you are, when you go into rooms that do not welcome what you are, you just know not to return to those rooms. You don't question if something is wrong with you or what do those people think about me. You just learn to thrive in places that celebrate you and not tolerate you. You overthink everything because you put yourself in environments with people that give you weird energy, and then you question if you're tripping. You know you're not tripping. And if you think you're tripping, you won't go and address the conflict with the people that make you think that you're tripping. It's simple as saying, hey, when you said, what did you mean? When you did what you did you really intend to hurt me? But you have to establish that type of confidence in yourself to say, I peeped that. I know exactly what that was, and I'm not putting myself in that situation anymore. Or if you value that relationship, I peeped that. Let me go address that so I can see if this relationship can be mended or saved. This is the importance of establishing a confidence within yourself and a confidence of the people in your circle, because the enemy can literally use that overthinking against you. When you go home and you have conversations with yourself about scenarios that you felt like happened to you, or things that did happen or didn't happen, or interactions you had with people, it doesn't even give people an opportunity to be who they actually are, because they're competing about your thoughts about them when they don't even know what they did. They were simply existing like you were existing. You cannot calculate every move, every interaction, every scenario, every breath towards you, every look at you. You can't calculate that. So if you will begin to trust yourself, trust your gut, trust your intuition, trust the Holy Spirit, you will stop overthinking every little thing. And when you do have that conviction in your spirit, you will say, I trust myself enough to go in my first thought. I trust myself enough to see that red flag in him. I don't need to bring it before my friends, my family, and all the people in my life to know that this man is a red flag, this woman is a red flag. You are overthinking it because you already know your first thought is correct.